So we are here, Matt Champlin. Welcome to the podcast. It's good to see you, my man.
Absolutely. Thank you
How
for
you
having
doing,
me,
brother?
bro. Thank you.
Well, yeah, let's just jump right into it, honestly, because I'm not going to lie. This is my first go, so I'm a little nervous. But
It's all good.
for those of you guys who don't know, Matt's what I like to call internet money. Is that fair to
enough.
say?
Yeah.
Maybe Wi-Fi money. I know you like to say Wi-Fi money sometimes.
Wi-Fi money, yeah.
But
Internet
in other
money.
words, an entrepreneur
Yeah.
who has pretty much leveraged the majority of his career through social media, his digital footprint, and his personal brand.
Yeah.
He's generated well over 7 figures online. But more importantly, and the part that I respect a little bit more, is you have mentored over 500 other young entrepreneurs who want to do great things in this world. I mean, you were a huge inspiration to me. Like when I first met you, you gave me a chance. I'll talk a little bit more about that later.
His content was an inspiration to me.
My guy, bro, my guy. But yeah, so over 500 other entrepreneurs, as well as 4,000 brands and businesses.
Right.
So, I mean, he's done more than just generate money online, but he's helped other people scale their businesses, their careers. And I mean, now I remember you telling me now you're running an agency now, Viral Velocity.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get that out there. I mean, this guy is an absolute monster. If those stats don't speak for themselves, then I mean, I really don't know what does. But yeah, I mean, it's an honor to have you on the podcast. I really appreciate you coming out, bro.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get going right away. I mean, tell me a little bit about the journey. Where'd you start? I know you're from New York.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm from New York originally, about 50 minutes, 1 hour north of New York City. Grew up small ass town. There's literally 67 people. I think that graduated from a public high school with me, like one red light in my whole town. And I realized like that wasn't a place where, I can scale on, where I am now and down here in such, a populated area where everyone wants to move. So
Totally. Yeah, Miami, baby.
Absolutely.
And I want to talk about that because this is like, we live in such a unique place.
Oh yeah.
We have opportunities that it's hard to even just describe kind of the opportunities we get on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
We really never know what's going to come out of our day.
Right. And there's always something going on.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I personally love about living down here.
Yeah.
But I mean, more about you. I mean, I know you went to college.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I wanted to ask you personally, just at what point did you realize, like, I'm out of here, I'm done?
Yeah. So I actually went to Utica University, which is in central New York, like 45 minutes outside Syracuse. And I studied business management there. I played on the basketball team there, won a conference championship with an awesome team. Sophomore year came around and, I was putting more time into actual business than I was, schoolwork, basketball, studying. And that's when I realized I'm like, all right, well, if I'm going to do this or I'm going to do either one of these, I'm going to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So my choice was to continue business and discontinue going to school. But I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have that backup of business, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think, all right, I'm going to drop out then start it. I think a lot of people should actually try it out and multitask, even though it might be challenging, but at the same time, have something to fall back on. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so you basically said like that kind of like that backup support of business. Like when you did make that decision, did you kind of like, had you already had like that breakthrough where you were confident in making that decision, or was there like the doubt? Did that play a big factor, or were you already at a point kind of in your business where you were just on such an incline and you were doing well enough to just be confident in yourself to be able to make that decision? I know you pretty much dropped out and you came right down here.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty much like the first thing you did, I want to say, was come down here.
Yeah.
And then I met you down here. That was so
but I wouldn't say there was a doubt, just because I knew what I was capable of when I first started marketing my senior year of high school. That's when I really started building on my personal brand, providing value. And from 6 years now from my high school, 5 years, whatever it is, I've worked with over 4,000 people, and that I wouldn't say it's a doubt, but it was going to be a new change for me that I had to get adjusting to. So I mean, my first year or my first month of doing marketing with an affiliate marketing program, I did 5 figures just over the summer alone. And for a high school kid during COVID, you don't really see money coming in like that, especially. So yeah, I knew I was capable of doing that. And then when I went to college, like that was taking up a lot of my time. Where during the summer I didn't have anything to do. Like I was still in high school. It was COVID. Like I was just kind of locked in college. Now you have to deal with school. Now you have to deal with basketball. Now you have to deal with your teammates asking you to go out to the bar, right? So now there's a lot of things that play in factor there. But yeah, once I moved down here, it was like, well, now you don't have an option. Now you have to lock in, right? Because now I have my own bills. Now I have my own responsibilities, right?
Totally. So you have kind of like a new thing to like kind of work towards overcoming.
Absolutely.
So would you say that you kind of like, as a business owner, and I don't want to say breakthrough as if, when I say breakthrough, don't think like accomplish everything and you're good and you're on the other side. But I would say more so like when did you start to gain traction kind of after you made that decision to drop out, or were you gaining your traction as you were in school and you were like, I can't keep going unless I drop out of school? So
I'd say it was kind of consistent while I was in school, but then once I took that dropout period, because I put so much more time into content and then actual scripts within the content. Totally. And then, just doing cold outreach. That was a big thing for me. Like when I dropped out, just because.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were doing no cold outreach until you dropped out of school?
No. I was doing cold outreach all throughout, high school, college.
Gotcha. You just doubled down.
I just doubled down on that just because I know it works and I'm not going to, fix what's not broke.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. One of your favorites is don't reinvent the wheel. That was one of my favorites that you read. Yeah, I got a lot of quotes of Matt Champ. That was one of my favorites. Speaking of, I did actually write a quote down that I wanted to, but I did write a quote down that I wanted to bring up because it is honestly one of my favorites that you have kind of. But you always told me that making the sale is never, it's not it's not the product, it's the process. It's the 20-minute conversation that I have with you. Right. That is what's more valuable than making the sale, regardless if we do business or not. If I'm able to have a 20-minute conversation with you, I just expanded my network by one more person.
Right.
Quoted by the Matt Champlin. I always love that one because it truthfully has nothing to do with that one sale that you made.
And it's not that one person either. It's that who that person knows to that person.
Exactly.
Timmy knows 5 people. Who knows 5 people? I just grew my network by 25 people.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. And that's, back to just Miami as a whole. Like, you meet one of those guys every single day. Right. So you meet one of those guys every single day, 25 times 25 times 25.
And once you start doing it, you realize that Miami's actually really fucking small.
Exactly.
Which is a good thing because you want to, play your cards right. You want to go to this guy. You want to go to that guy. You got it all in your back pocket because you actually took the 15, 20, 5 minutes to talk to someone and just introduce yourself and put a voice to face.
I was going to say, speaking of a small world, like I literally I did a little bit of my own research before we hopped on this podcast just so I don't completely fucking blow it. But but are you working with Corsa Auto Group now? Are you working with Ethan?
Yep. So shout out Ethan Duran and Corsa Auto Group. Great
shout
guys
out
over
Ethan
there.
Duran, but shout out Neil Betty, Next Gen Automotive in Close, New Jersey, baby. That was my first go in high school. Dude, that's the man right there. Yeah. But that's too funny. Again, what a small world. My first job as a content creator was auto body shop in Closter, New Jersey, like the town over from my hometown. Yeah. And this guy used to come in like on a weekly basis and would have a new Lamborghini every week, different color, and he'd be like, "Yo, we're doing this," and like we're modding the car up, and I was like, "Bro, like who is this guy? He's like 22. Like, how does he have so many cars?" Yeah. And yeah, it was Ethan Duran, and now like I see him on social media, he's absolutely killing it with his content, with his business.
I was just down with him for the day yesterday, down in Miami. We had a great time. It was basically just like the day in a life. Filmed some content with him. Rode around the F8, SF90, hit the Urus.
Oh my god.
Hit the gym with him for like 2 hours with him and his boy John, who films his content. Shout out Jay Nitek.
Jay Nitek, yeah, I was gonna say I met him a time or two. He's a great guy.
Yeah. Killer
super
on the camera
dope content too. Yeah, I was gonna say the both of them. I mean, they're producing content. Content's key.
Right.
Content's king.
Right.
Content's currency. It's the whole 9 yards, right?
Content
Like if you
is
can generate
currency.
organic content, it's literally free advertisement.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't want that?
Right.
So, but I mean, yeah, they're killing it over there. So are you working? You guys, what are you guys doing? Like a Turo host mentorship or?
It's more private renting. Turo kind of just
Gotcha.
takes a lot of fees. It's not friendly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. So I mean, just through the systems that Ethan's created over the last 7 years, we're able to basically just plug and play in our our markets, which is LA, Miami, New Jersey, New York.
Yeah.
Actually opening in a new location in Tampa right now as well.
Oh, really?
So
That's a hot spot.
Yeah.
To be honest, it really is. Like I feel like everybody's. I personally, not a big fan of Tampa. I'm gonna stick on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm sticking to East Coast too.
Yeah. But that's awesome, bro. That's sweet. That's sweet. So you guys are really trying to just kind of grow your fleet, like.
Yeah, I mean, our goal isn't really just to bring in customers. It's our goal as a company just to get to 1,000 cars, and right now we're at 118 exotic cars all around our markets. So we're getting there.
Wow, that's a lot of fucking cars.
Yeah.
Where do you guys keep them all?
I mean, there's warehousing in each location, so we got private warehousing for each car that's out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you planning on expanding the Mad Champ Supercar collection anytime soon?
That's the goal. That's why I got to surround myself over there in that corner. That's definitely the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want what some people consider a depreciating asset
100%.
to become a money generating machine for them?
Exactly. I mean, that was always the big question about cars is why would you buy a car?
Right.
Like, it's not going to make you any money. It's also not going to lose you any money if you buy the right car at the
Right.
end of the day, right? So it's like you just buy it, sit on it, and then you sell it. I
Yeah.
mean, who cares? It doesn't matter. You pay maybe a couple of taxes here and there, but whatever. But no, I mean, obviously, again, you just said community. Like, you got to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
And that was another question I had for you. But how important is building an online community for your business?
Yeah, I mean, I think building a community as a whole, whether they're, a lot of people have these paid communities on Discord, on Telegram, which is cool, but I think having an audience that can genuinely learn from you, genuinely relate to you, and come to your page when they see you post and be like, damn, like I just learned something, and it costs them nothing but their attention. So, yeah.
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Just give them value.
Yeah.
A lot of other creators online say valuetainment.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be entertaining, but it also needs to be value. Like, they need to be able to walk away with something.
Yeah, I mean, for an example, a lot of these fitness guys who come to me, they'll be posting the workouts, they'll be, just giving their meal prep plans. Like, a lot of the reason why people are going viral right now is strictly because of Reels. Reels are taking off right now.
100%.
And what a lot of people do, and it's a very, very common mistake, is they're only making content directed at their audience, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not going outside the lines of, all right, fitness, and then, let's go to people that like nature, right? People who like nature.
You are right. It does need to be there needs to be some sense of trial and error, because then how are you going to expand
Absolutely.
how are you going to expand your following?
Yeah. I mean, you want that general audience just because, speak about politics, speak about controversial topics, speak about, stuff that you purposely spell wrong in your video so people can comment. Like, there's little tricks that, it's mind games. This marketing thing is all a mind game.
It's a mind game, but at the end, it's also just attention.
Yeah.
It's how do you get somebody's attention?
Right.
Give them something valuable.
Everyone's a female online. That's how I look at it. Everyone's a female.
That is a good
online.
one. I'm gonna start to use that actually.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I mean, look, I also say all the time that anybody can just go run a bunch of Facebook ads,
right,
run a bunch of Instagram ads, Meta ads, whatever you want to do, and probably sell a couple of products.
Right.
But then when your company does take that step outside of the box, like you said, and go towards something different, you don't have any followers that are going to actually follow you. Like, nobody's going to kind of watch it. Like,
there's not going to be that reoccurring
there's
revenue.
No initial traction. I mean, there needs to be some sort of foundation. You can't just be all over the place, right?
Right.
So I'm all for taking that step outside the box, but you need to establish something beforehand. You can't
Absolutely.
take a step outside of a box that doesn't exist.
You can't just start talking about football and go to surfing and then back to Trump just lost the debate.
Exactly.
Or,
but even when you come down to like your business, you can't just start trying to sell products and see no traction selling my one product.
Right.
And then go sell another product.
Right.
Because you're not going to have any traction selling that one either.
Right.
Because, I mean, you didn't have any traction selling the first one. You don't have any community that's following the first product. Why would they follow the second?
Right. And that's, I use Nike as an example a lot because Nike's known for their shoes, right? Nike's known for their shoes. I believe they were like made in a garage or something like that. But now they're selling headbands, t-shirts, sweatshirts, sweatpants, right? And the reason why they did that is because they were able to create that community
100%.
who pay for literally a Nike swoosh.
That's all they pay for.
Yeah.
And that's all I pay for. I mean, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Nike.
Oh, I love Nike.
I go into Dick's Sporting Goods all the time just to get a new pair of running shoes.
But the reason why, people are buying that Nike swoosh is because, one, everyone else has it and they'd be considered, fear of missing out if they don't have it, right? Yeah. And they've built a community, a real brand around the Nike swoosh to where people know what the hell Nike is. And it's such a large brand that people are okay with paying for the logo.
100%.
Yeah.
They also know, they say that, from the perspective of somebody who's seeing something that just came out from Nike, I know that everything else Nike makes is world class. And that comes all the way down to their first product, which was their sneaker.
Right.
The Nike sneaker was superior to
Yeah.
every other sneaker, right? So when they come out with their next product, since they've already built such a strong community around the first product, the additional one is most likely going to do just as well. Because
now, not all the people from the sneaker might go over to the new product, which is reasonable, but you still have that overflow if you keep adding products.
Exactly. Exactly. But you can't stack products after no success.
Right.
And I feel like that's like, as somebody who just does a lot of social media marketing for small local businesses, whether they're offering products, services, whatever it is, if it doesn't work, they're just like, I got to do something completely different.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You have to make modifications. You have to dissect it, and you have to figure out where it didn't work. And after you find out where it didn't work, you got to fix it and then try it again. It's a trial and error thing.
That's a lot, like that's a huge problem that a lot of people have, right? Is they'll try something, they'll give up after the first 30 days because they didn't see money come in. Okay. Well, if you thought it was a get-rich-quick program trying to start your own business, entrepreneurship's not for you, bro.
Exactly. And Facebook ads it's honestly the most common with Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Like everybody tries Facebook ads for, I feel like, a month. They set up one little campaign and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. And they're like, this is stupid. And it's like, bro, like, what are you talking about? Like, we've been doing this for 30 days. Like, how long have you had your Instagram account for? How long have you been feeding your algorithm dog shit?
Yeah.
You've been feeding your algorithm dog shit for at least 3, 5, 10. Who knows how many years? And you think 30 days of Facebook ads is going to fix your problems?
Yeah.
Like, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but it's not going to work. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So this takes months, years, consistency, and dedication. And it's like, as people who work as consultants for other brands and businesses, if that other brand or business or entrepreneur isn't equally as invested as we are, if not more,
right,
it just won't work.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, again, back to like the whole giving up after the first 30 days and even going back to Meta ads, like a lot of people don't understand how big of a platform Meta is to where they can reward people for obviously using their platform, but also like they want to spicing things up at the same time. Like,
for sure.
They're going to push content that they believe is going to perform well. And something that they haven't seen before as well, to give the people something new to stay on the app. So when it comes to actual creatives on Facebook, don't film 1, don't film 3, don't film 5, film 15 creatives, run the same ad set across them, see what works.
Let it trickle down.
Yep.
And then even after that, you're going to find that successful piece of content, and then you're going to make 15 replicas.
Yep.
And then you're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do it again, and you're going to do it again, and you're going to do it again. And then eventually you're going to start to gain traction, and you're going to start to do sales. But it's like, it's not like it's not an overnight success. You know.
Well,
what I mean?
that's what I do with the content that we filmed, bro.
Yeah, I was
2 years ago.
Yeah, we started to like think about that, bro.
Like I'm using like just individual shots, like B-roll of me like talking or me just sitting on a couch that we filmed 2 years ago, and I'm still making content of that.
Bro, content has one of those. Content has one of those. Where are they? One of those recycle. One of those guys.
Absolutely.
Every piece of content should have a piece of that on it. Because content can be recycled, reused, and I mean, think about it. Out of, let's use 100,000 for math's sake. Let's say you have 100,000 followers and you put out a piece of content. What percentage of your followers is that getting shown to? 10, maybe.
10%, which is still 10,000.
It's still a lot of people, but even if you were to dummy those numbers down, that's such a small percentage of your actual followers. If you could post those videos, the same video 10 times, and it could get showed to all your followers once. Yeah. Like, if you really think about it, you know what I mean? So it's perfectly okay. I tell people all the time, like, especially all the people that we do work for, because when they see us recycle clips, I don't want them to think that we're half-assing it. We're not half-assing it. We're just trying to get the most out of what we have. You know what I mean? Like, go on my feed. Go scroll through my videos. I guarantee you'll see content that's been reused. Yeah,
I mean, I'm a little bit on the other end of the stick for that, right? So how I look at it is like when people come to me, they'll be like, all right, man, I only have 5,000 followers. And I don't want them to be like only. Because if you put 5,000 people in a room, you're going to shit yourself if you go on stage.
100%. I made this very similar, I guess, reference to my dad. But I was like, dude, how many followers on Instagram do you have? He was like, me, I got like 250 followers on Instagram. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, like people underestimate how many people 250 people is. Like, if those were true, if you had 250 true followers, I forget who said this, but there was somebody who had a concept. It was called the 1,000 True Fan concept. Let's say you have 1,000 followers and 1,000 true followers who believe in you and would be willing to invest in you, right? And you got all 1,000 of them to subscribe to you for $5 a month. Right. You'd be pretty successful. Yeah. I'd be pretty fucking comfortable.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a lot of money. So it's like like you were just saying, like only 5,000 people. What do you mean only? Right. Like that's a lot of people.
There's a lot you can do with 5,000 people.
Exactly. So it's like, don't think like I need more followers, I need more this, I need more that. You don't. Like the followers will come with your hard work, your dedication, your consistency, and if you post valuable information. And I mean, for all the people out there that think that they could build their pages by just posting like reposting funny memes of their industry. Right. Hate to break that one to you, buddy, but I don't think that works. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's not going to build you the audience you're looking for. Like, it's not going to build you an audience full of people that are willing to potentially do business with you.
Absolutely.
So educate. Yeah. Educate. And I saw you recently took that. Not even took a change, but I know when we first met, we were originally recording a lot of just, we would sit in one spot, we'd bang out a bunch of videos on the camera. I'd bring all the gear and stuff. And now you're kind of more so like, I saw you just posted that new video that looks great, where it's literally just an iPhone. Yeah. Because that's really all you need. Yeah. Like you just, again, the best way to deliver your message as a brand is through short form video content. Doesn't matter if it's on a $10,000 cinema camera or the iPhone that pretty much every single human being has in their pocket. Yeah.
I mean, I started actually like after having a conversation with my boy Dom. Me and Dom are just really trying to go like hard at it right now, just because we've seen so many people blowing up with videos that are, all right, my content's better than this, but he's just speaking what's on his mind, right? So I'll start driving, and I don't play music anymore. In the shower, like that's when I come up with some of my best ideas too.
So weird. You just don't listen to music at all, like when
for the last couple of days, no, because one, I'm either making a reel, or two, I'm thinking about making a reel. Like on the way up here, I just made 3 reels in the car of me talking.
Oh, just talking. Okay. So you're more signing just like are you listening to like podcasts, or is it just like I'm in my own thoughts?
In my own thoughts.
I feel that. Yeah. I 100% feel that. But at the same time, like as a creative, like to me, music is so important. Yeah. I need it. Like I would say 90% of my kind of creative ideas are fueled by music in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely. All my client work start with music. I have to have what I'll do with wide cabinet.
Sorry, yeah. What I do with the music is A lot of people say get off social media, stop scrolling on Reels.
Yeah.
Only reason why I scroll on Reels is to find audio that can match to something with my tone that I'm going to say.
Gotcha.
Right? So, like, those calm little, like, beats in the background when I'm going on my rampage, like, you know.
I got something for you, actually, bro. Are you on SoundCloud?
No.
Bro, dude, SoundCloud just started implementing, like, a For You page.
Really?
Yeah, let me pull up my phone and show you. Hate to go on my phone during the pod, but
I know.
but nah, so they just started doing like a For You style kind of thing where it's like you could just scroll through tracks.
Can you save audio?
Yeah, so it's like you just like it. It goes to your like tracks on SoundCloud.
That's
so
fair.
if you just go to your feed, I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, everyone's starting to do this TikTok thing, like the Reels,
right?
the Shorts.
I saw that the other day and I was like, oh my god, like they're hopping on the exact same wave.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Smart
like,
though.
It's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smart, and it's like even like when I'm in the car, like I can just scroll through music
Right.
and just like listen to stuff that I haven't heard before.
You gotta go through, pick and choose, and search and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you're not like when you're kind of in a mood to listen to like new music, you just listen to new music. But as far as being in your own thoughts, that is so important. I mean, like I heard somebody the other day say like, for those of you who aren't necessarily making like enough money with your business to where you can do it full time, and you still need a part-time job or you need some sort of other stream of income, go get a job that allows you to just sit in your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Go DoorDash.
Yeah.
Go do something like
Uber,
that. It's
yeah.
not the worst thing in the world to spend 2-3 hours by yourself in your own thoughts, thinking about whatever it is that you have to think about. It's pretty much meditation. That's what meditation is.
Yeah.
Is sitting in your own thoughts and trying to focus on absolutely nothing but whatever it is that pops up into your brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
So-
I think when a lot of people think of meditation, they think, all right, they need to sit down and do one of these.
Yeah.
Like, no, bro. Like, throw AirPods in, throw, music on the TV, lock in, put
Meditation
your computer
is
up.
such a
like,
personal.
Yeah.
It's such a personal thing.
Absolutely. It's
whatever-
different for everyone,
It's whatever
too.
floats your boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we recently just did a campaign for a yoga instructor who
Cool.
basically just does like online yoga classes and
Yeah.
stuff. And basically, like the last time I did something kind of like of that sort was for a dance studio. So
Okay.
like I would always take the picture, take the video, and then they would like look at it to make sure that their form was like proper, you know.
Right.
And she was basically explaining to me, like, I was like, do you want to check, like, to make sure it's good? And she was like, like, it's probably fine. And I was like, really? Like, you want to make sure, like, aren't you, like, the professional? She was like, yeah, well, there's not, like, a right or wrong. It's, like, it's more so of, like, a meditation. Like,
Right.
it's however you want to do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and obviously there is, like, some sort of,
Right.
like, technique to it, but it's a meditation. So it's not about having, like, perfect form or texture or whatever the hell you want to
Yeah.
call it. So it's just kind of, like, forgetting about the here and now and just getting into your own thoughts, and that's where you're going to come up with your best ideas.
Yeah.
But
To
that
build
is-
off that a little bit, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like struggling to get that to that point B from point A, right? And that road in between is going to be different for every single person. But you know yourself better than anyone trying to help you knows you better, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to have to help yourself get to point B or from point A. So, yeah.
And you can't do it by standing still.
No.
And the only person who's going to know when you're standing still is you.
You're right.
So, and the only person, again, another Matt Champ quote that I didn't even write down, but I just remember it. You're the only one that can turn the page to the next chapter. Is
Absolutely,
that it?
yeah.
Is that it? I got it.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. But yeah, no, that's a great quote. I mean, like, you're the only one that can change. You're the only one that can make the changes that you need to make to fuel your own success, fuel your own career.
If we're talking about books, another one I have is
Books. What do you know about books?
no, definitely never read a book before since like 5th grade textbook. But no, if we're talking about books, it was like, life is a book, right? And you're gonna have to write it how you want people to view it or how you want people to read it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's not necessarily saying like you struggling to get to point B, but let's say you did struggle to get to point B, right? People can see your growth from point A to point Z. And that's why I leave a lot of the content up on my Instagram as well from
Old
high
content,
school,
yeah.
like just basketball mixtapes, because I want people to scroll down and see that kind of content to see where I've came from. So right now I'm on, chapter 3 or 4 compared to chapter 1, which
That's funny. That's funny that you have that take on it. I remember, I think I was a junior in high school, and like when I had a very kind of in a way similar journey to as you did, as far as like kind of my athletics and then going into my career.
Yeah.
But when I quit football, my whole Instagram page was just pictures of me playing football.
Right.
Pictures of me with my friends from high school.
You're like, shit, what do I post now?
Yeah, I was like, what do I post now? And it was so hard for me. And I posted a couple like travel style content reels here and there, but I would always end up going back and taking them down.
But that was probably fun for you making those.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
Yeah.
And I learned so much. It was great practice. For those of you who are too afraid to post the videos that you make and post the content you make, the fact that you just made it is enough practice. Keep just making them. Like I had a friend who had some stuff going on in his personal life, and he kind of like shut his social media down. But he was pretty well known on social media. Like he had a pretty solid following, but he shut it down just for personal reasons. And it was starting to kind of like eat away at his head because he actually genuinely enjoyed just making the content. Yeah. He just loved to make the content. Yeah. And I was like, bro, just go make the content.
You don't have
like,
to
you
post
don't have
it.
to post
Yeah.
it. Like you're not only going to get better at making content, but you're creating a crazy content backlog. Schedule. Yeah, you're creating a crazy backlog. And that's actually so important to be able to have like some sort of model that you can stack up on content.
Absolutely.
If you're trying to monetize on social media, that's so important. If you can find a way to do that to where you just always have content at hand and you can just throw it out like clockwork, I mean, that's super valuable.
That's what I've tried to do. I mean, I'm just trying to have something, you know, let's say I miss a day of making reels or whatever like that. I want to be posting 2 reels a day right now, but I also have a shit ton of my drafts where, you know, if I had a bad day or a busy day where I wasn't able to get to it, all I got to do is go to my drafts, boom, it's right there for me.
Yeah. But I mean, that is ideal. Like I try to think of ways all the time where I can just, how can I like post more on my personal account?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Back to what I was saying earlier, even like when I originally did stop playing football and I was kind of going into that, like this little kind of journey of like travel content creation, I was like, I don't remember exactly the day, but there was a day where I was like, I'm posting this video today. And after I post this video, I'm never deleting another video ever again. Every video I post from here on out is staying up on my page, no matter what, no exception.
So do you still have a bunch of shit archived?
I still have all those original videos archived. Yeah. But the day I posted that, I took down all the football pictures. And I was like, I'm done. Yep. This chapter's over, and now I'm going into this one because I couldn't have football and then travel. Like it just didn't make any sense. Right. So I had to either go. It was one or the other. You know what I mean?
Well, it's again, that's different for you than it is for me.
Of course. You know. But that is your business. Your business is your personal brand, your
Absolutely.
life. You know what I mean? Like your journey. And the truth is, the journey is never going to be over. Like if obviously like there's a lot of letters after B, but like getting A to B, like I would say that you would never end up getting to B. Ideally, you never end up getting to B. It's the chase of always striving to get to B. You can't ever be satisfied.
As you get closer, B gets further. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like the Matthew McConaughey speech. Where he's like, you're never gonna get your hero. Yeah. It's just the process of always chasing it. You know what I mean? It's like you need to strive to be the best, because if you're not striving to be the best at what you do all the time, and not only what you do, but just life in general. I mean, like we're gonna get older, we're gonna have families, we're gonna have whatever it is that we have going on in our lives. You have to just strive to be the best.
And when you're
not, what else are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And when you're going from that point A to that point B, everything in between that, like, bro, I start to like fall in love with that shit.
Yeah, it's the process. Do you know Inky Johnson?
No.
Dude, you have to watch. I'm gonna send this to you. You gotta watch this. I was telling Van the other day that he has to watch this, but Inky Johnson was a football player, and he never made it for injury purposes. I'm not spoiling it because you're watching it. Yeah. All you guys out there better watch it too. But he makes public speeches now. He's a public speaker, a motivational speaker. He was like, it has nothing to do. His famous quote is, "It's not the product, it's the process. It's about getting to the finish line. Yeah. It's not about being at the finish line. Yeah. It's about everything you did to get there. It's like the iceberg, you know what I mean?
Like, it doesn't matter how you got there either.
It doesn't matter how you got there,
but it
does because that's what makes up who you are. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it's like. In a lot of the film classes I've taken, they talk about like your I forget. It's like your subconscious. You know what I mean? It's like kind of like what makes up your. It's like kind of the part of your brain that affects the decisions you make.
Yeah.
But you don't realize it makes those effects. Kind of just like experiences you've had in your life that have molded who you are, pretty much.
Right.
And it affects how you consume content. It affects how you do everything in your life, right? And I just thought it was really interesting because it's like, this is how I'm kind of approaching social media with content. It's like, how are people going to see this and feel it? Mm-hmm. Which I think is the most important part, is delivering that feeling with your content. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
when you're talking to the camera, just like on an iPhone, like you're doing now, it's like, it's just so realistic and it's so authentic.
Feels like you're getting like a Snapchat from your boy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of what those guys are aiming for, is they're just like, I want to be your friend. You know what I mean? Like, DM me, I probably will respond. You know what I mean? And I mean, again, that's what you're all about, is that 20-minute conversation. That is literally what everyone should be all about, because it's just, it's networking.
And not even like the 20-minute conversation. Like, if you go out of your way to DM me, that shows that you're serious. That shows that you want something. That shows you either want to learn, you want to help, or...
It doesn't show that you're serious, but it shows that you want something.
Yeah, it shows that you want something.
Want change. How motivated are you to actually go out of the way to make that change?
Right.
Is why I want to get on the phone with you, and why I'm not just going to send you my prices.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that. I mean, because you can learn a lot about somebody by just getting on the phone with them for 20 minutes. Yeah. You really can.
And you can also learn and tell from someone. Like, what I like to do is, when someone DMs me, or they just reach out, or maybe I'll reach out to them, just to connect, or they want to reach out to me to connect. I'll send voice memos, because voice memos are actually genuine. It's not some robot. You don't have your DM setter in the DMs. It's me. It's me talking to you. It's me taking that 20 seconds, that 30 seconds out of my day, which is whoop-de-doo, 20 to 30 seconds. Anyone can do that, right? But no one decides to do that. They decide to text and just look like everyone else.
Hide behind a screen.
Yeah.
Hide behind a screen. No, there needs to be, and again, like, talk about college. Everybody goes to college.
Right.
Everybody goes to college. Everybody gets a degree. Everybody does what, like, all those, like, when you walk into a job application and you walk into, not even a job application, because I'm honestly not interested in those. But when you sit in front of somebody who you're trying to sell yourself on, what makes you different? Literally, what makes you different? And it's your personality at the end of the day, because everybody's been to college, everybody's played sports, everybody's done this, and everybody's done that. So
you're not the only one. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not the only one. Like, I mean, one of my dad's favorite quotes is, there's someone out there with a bigger dick. There is somebody out there.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
But there's always going to be somebody out there with a bigger dick.
Yeah.
And, like, I hate to put it, like, so blunt, but that's so true. You know what I mean? So it's like, the second you get a little high on your own stock, just remember, you're not the best, and that's why you're never going to get to be.
That's why I like living down here.
Yeah. And this is a good place to remind you. But at the end of the day, you also have to remember, for all those super successful, super awesome entrepreneurs, businessmen, whatever you want to call them, there's so many fugazis.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I mean and that's not even just Florida. That's truthfully everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah,
you're gonna find fugazis everywhere you
go. All the big markets, L.A., New York,
100%.
Miami, definitely Miami. I mean, I've experienced it firsthand, where like the guy just flats out tells me, I'm like,
yeah,
probably shouldn't tell me that, dude.
It may affect what I think of you for the future, but I mean, you just got to be careful, and that just goes back to, like you said earlier, surrounding yourself with the right people, your community, and that's everything. You want to surround yourself with people that are gonna bring you up, and people that are gonna make you better and hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
Like, I tell my partner all the time, I'm like, dude, like, I get on you sometimes, but it's perfectly okay for you.
Yeah.
Get back up on my ass too when I don't like hold up to par. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think people are scared to check each other sometimes, if I'm being honest. Like,
truthfully,
you're so close with your best friend where, if you slip up and say something that made you feel uncomfortable, or that, you should check them on to get both of you guys better at something, that's going to be a little issue in the long run.
Would you rather deal with it now?
Yeah.
Would you rather deal with it now, or would you rather deal with it in the heat of the moment?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just resolve it, and whether we get heated for a couple minutes and then it comes back down, we figure it out, we move on, that's fine. but at least we don't have to deal with it when we need to deal with
Right.
it. You know what I mean? Like when we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just accountability is something that I think a lot of people in today's day and age deal with. I mean, I actually over the summer, you obviously know Cardone. You used to live in a 10X building too.
Yeah.
10X building.
Yeah.
But over the summer, once I moved in here, funny enough, this is crazy. When we moved into this apartment unit, we immediately started getting ads on our phones.
I'm sure.
For Cardone.
Yeah.
Well, we're also talking about it. We're like, oh, I wonder who to see Grant walking around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we went to I went to one of the business summits. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was like, fuck it. Like, I want to see what this guy has to say. He's like very pompous online. Whatever. So I swipe up on the thing. I'm like, I wonder how much money it is. They obviously don't tell you how much it is. You have to put in all your details and shit. And within half an hour, salesman calls me. Like, great. Like, deal with this guy for the next week, right? He's never going to leave me alone. But he's actually a super cool guy. I wish I remember his name. I have it somewhere on my phone. But so I bought the ticket. It was like, I think it was 400 and change, right? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And to be honest with you, worth every penny.
Really?
Every freaking penny. Like it wasn't only Cardone either. It was a lot more. Like they talked, their vice president of sales, he talked for like a whole day, just about sales. And I learned so much about sales, like a lot. And like, even just like the people like in the room, like you just like, they gave you like these little booklets. I'll show you the booklet. But one of the demonstrations he made as far as like accountability goes, he was like 99.9% of the human population simply cannot do what they tell themselves they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I mean,
that's it.
I've been accountable for
I
that.
set my alarm, bro. I set my alarm for 7:15 this morning. Guess what time I got up? Not 7:15. No, well, not that bad. But like for me, like I got up like the alarm rings at 7:15, lay in my bed for a couple minutes, and then by the time like 7:30 rolls around, like I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna roll out of here.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, bro. Like you need to be a little bit more urgent. And urgency is, I forget. I saw a video the other day. Somebody talked about urgency, but it's like just being urgent in business is gonna get you more. It's gonna get you more. Simply that. Just flat out. It's gonna get you more. If you're the first responder, you're the first guy to respond back. If you're the first guy to show up,
that's the biggest part in sales too. Like sales is like a time game too. So if you have a lead that wants to, reach out or inquire about something, the longer they wait, the less chance. Like it's like a Harvard study I saw. Like if you wait more than 2 hours after the fact of the person, the percentage of the sale like going through drops 300%.
Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah.
100% I believe
Especially online. Everyone's impulsive. Everyone's on TikTok, right? When you think about TikTok, it's a quick trend.
It's a time scheme. I've been saying that since the beginning. The whole model is the fact that you can put your phone up whenever you want, take a video whenever you want, to any music, and post it immediately.
Yeah.
That's the whole concept.
Yeah.
And when they see people follow that model, they tend to favor them.
You
know what I mean?
And I think a lot of platforms are starting to change, right? Like from once they saw TikTok, obviously everyone has the reels now where it's basically you're scrolling down like this, YouTube shorts. But think about like the name changes, right? Like no one really calls Instagram. They call it IG. Like what's your IG? Like it's quick. TikTok.
Yeah.
X.
Well, I mean, like just even simple slang words that are just like two words put together.
Right.
It's just like that's just our generation.
Yeah.
Lazy shit, bro. But no, I mean, but even if you do look at it, what's interesting is TikTok was what was originally designed to be short, quick. What were they, like 30 seconds?
Yeah. I think at max the first time it was like 10.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember, so definitely don't quote us on that. But now you can post like a 10-minute video.
It's a full fucking movie on
TikTok. Yeah, bro.
Now.
Exactly. Like, what's his name? What's that guy's name? I hate to get political, but Kirk.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. He posts like 10-minute clips.
Yeah.
And
it's like impossible to skip because like my big ass
fingers
fingers will be going all the way to 5 minutes.
But it's like, bro, who's watching this?
Yeah.
Like, who's sitting on their phone for 10 minutes?
And that's insane.
That's crazy. It's TV. That's
It's
TV.
It's insane. That's like,
Dude,
all right.
It's not far off from a South Park episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not
And then
far
they go to a
off.
commercial break, and then you're right back at the next video.
Yeah, and well, no, you don't even have commercial break
Yeah.
now. You just fucking scroll to the next video.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. To me, TikTok is just out of hand. Like, the fact that, like, people, because I've been starting to get caught worse. Like, I've been starting to notice myself getting worse. Like, I won't even lie to you.
Yeah.
I had maybe, like, back in the spring for, like, a solid month. It was a solid month. I took TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat off my phone, and within like I think within 2 weeks in, I ended up putting Instagram back on my phone just because I needed Instagram for like the sounds and just like for all the, like, the client work and stuff like that, and I ended up never putting TikTok back on my phone. I still have it on. I have like my old phone that just sits in my nightstand, and the only thing, I mean, maybe I pull it out like once a week, and I'll check my own personal TikTok to see if anybody like followed me, but I got like 100 followers or some shit like that. I honestly really just don't care, even though I probably should, just because it's like, it's good just for growing the business. I'll probably end up clipping all these and putting them on TikTok. Yeah. I just got to start that back up. But as far as like consuming the actual content, I gotta figure out a way to like just tap out of that, because I need the platform for other things.
Right. I mean, what I really started going on Instagram now was audios, because I think audio is really, really helping push reels right now.
You think the audio that you use in your video is helping push your reel?
Not the physical, what I'm speaking, but that little background noise.
Yeah, that noise. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. Because I've seen other, like, if you go to audio, you'll see, all right, this audio has 150,000 plays. Yeah. Or this audio only has 600 plays, but you really like the audio.
You should go for the one with
you should go for the one that definitely has more plays, just because it's worked for other people. And what I'll do is I'll go on the people's pages that posted using that same sound, and I'll kind of compare them to my page.
Gotcha. So, okay. So you're actually doing a real, like, for me personally, the way I pick the audios, is it trending? Yeah. Is it not trending? If it's not trending, right, don't care. If it's trending, maybe I'll use it. Right. Actually, one of our clients I posted for the other day, and we haven't been putting any audios under his talking head clips, but I was like, you know, like, I'm gonna put a faint audio. I'll put it on like 2%, and then I put the other one up, and the name of the track, it was like just like some hip hop beat. Yeah. But it was like Gang Studda. And like, this guy's like a 45-year-old like fitness coach, right? And he texts me like immediately. He's like, Gang Studda ? Like with like a crying emoji. And I was like, oh, is that the name of the song? And I was like, yeah, no, like, it's for the algorithm. Don't worry about it. Like, it's for the algorithm.
He let you leave it?
Yeah, oh yeah, he didn't care. He just thought it was hilarious. And he was like, what's that even for? And I was like, it's just a faint music in the background. Like, if you can hear it, it's faint music. Yeah. And it's good for the algorithm. Yeah. Just forget about it. And that's what I told him. And he that's what he took it for that. Took my word for it. But that is interesting. I mean, I don't know. I've always, like, for me, like, I just need the audios for the inspiration. Like, and even just, like, to create content as a whole, other people's content. Like, I think a lot of people, like, judge people. Like, another one of our clients, he was showing me some of their competitors' videos. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is a great video. I have my own ideas. I can do my own take on this video. Absolutely. That would be entirely different, but we were going to reuse one of the same shots. And he was like, no. And I was like, why? He was like, because they did it. And I was like, bro, like, that's art, dude. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but like, that's art. Like, you need to take inspiration from other people. You can't come up with everything on your own. Like, no
Back offense. To don't reinvent the wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not. Yeah, you can't reinvent the wheel. And it's like, they're doing it. It's successful. It's okay for us to do it too.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone posts anything on social media and it went viral and something I like, it's free fucking game.
It's free fucking game. Like, there's no watermarks, there's no copyright, like, none of that. Like, it's okay.
Like, of course, I'm gonna put my twist on it and see how I feel, and I say it comfortably. I'm not gonna say word for word what he said, but I'm gonna do something pretty damn similar.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been dabbling kind of into my own talking head content. Don't necessarily post any of it, but it's like, when I have ideas for it, they're usually based off of someone else's video that I see my own kind of twist in. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's perfectly okay. Like that, like for somebody who like, I've studied art and like I'm a film major. So it's like, I've looked at so many different types of art from literally the 1800s all the way to fucking right now.
Right.
And you can see where they took inspiration from
Absolutely.
one style to another. And I mean, that's just, you can't like, you have to be open-minded and you have to see other people's
and sometimes
style,
it's not okay putting if you don't want to put your own twist on it, right? If you want to just try it out, see it, literally copy what you saw and post it for yourself, that's okay. At the end of the day, there's no watermarks. It's Instagram. You're posting to a general audience.
It really isn't against the rules. It's not. And it's, I mean, like, obviously you don't want to just copy everybody straight up all the time.
Right.
And not have zero authenticity.
Right.
But to see somebody else's video and like it and want to recreate it for your own.
Yeah.
In my eyes, and I think in a lot of other creators' eyes, perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Perfectly okay. I don't see an issue, but I just think it's super frowned upon. I mean,
Yeah.
For no fucking reason.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I mean, let's transition a little bit here.
Yeah.
Let's transition while we're actually, you know what? Let's not even transition. While we're talking about social media marketing and kind of just taking other people's content, other people's work, and kind of funneling it into your own. I wanted to talk about ads, paid ads specifically, and the fact that it's extremely saturated. I mean, you've been in this since I would say you've been in this pretty close to the beginning when it really kind of started to kind of this whole e-commerce thing and paid ads and all that stuff really started pre-COVID. Yes, pre-COVID. That is a key right there, the fact that it was pre-COVID. Let's talk about that after too, COVID. But you've pretty much been around since the beginning of this whole paid ads era. It's saturated as hell now. Mm-hmm. How do you think you can stick out with your paid ads? And do you even think it's worth it to invest a lot of money into paid ads, whether it's Google, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it is?
Yeah, so as far as paid ads go, I mean, I'll be sitting on my couch or sitting wherever, and I'll be scrolling through stories on Instagram, and boom, now I got a coaching offer popping up for a DM, right? So it is very saturated. I see a bunch of them, and I see probably the same 15 to 20 people on a weekly basis, just because, one, I want to get inspiration from them, what they're doing, and two, like, it's just the algorithm, how it works. The more people you see, the same people you see. But with that being said, as far as an actual creative goes, when it comes for, like, whatever your product or service is there's this one kid, I'm not saying his name on purpose. Don't want to give him that much clout, but it's just, he's filming raw videos, like no edits, no captions, like no cuts. It's literally just him speaking to you, and it gives you as a consumer, like, all right, this guy's like actually speaking to me right now. So I think having that raw content, having that no cuts, and having a genuine conversation, looking at your camera like you're actually talking to your boy across the other side of the screen, that's what's going to attract, because everyone's like, buy my course, this and that. This is how I've been able to go from 0 to 20,000 in 2 days off my coaching offer. Swipe down, click below, see you there.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I think the best approach to Instagram ads is not actually to generate a sale with the ad.
Yeah.
Is to generate a follower and then mold that follower into a sale.
Absolutely.
It's like again, back to the whole, like the Cardone seminar, their vice president of sales gave some statistics. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but it was like 3%, I think, of all sales all cold call sales are actually made on the first call. And then I think it was like 5% are made on the second and third.
Yeah.
And then once you get to like the fourth call, that's when it actually got up to like 20-30%. And it was like the first 3 goes, especially, we talked about cold outreach earlier, but it was like, you can't just go into it with those expectations, the same expectations we went into earlier with 30 days of Facebook ads on your account that's been getting fed dog shit for 5 years, like that's nothing. So,
and that's what I tell everyone when I get on the phone with you. As we said before, I'm like, regardless if we do business or not, I'm able to grow my network by one person, and I'm sure you know 5 people who know 5 people. That's 25 people. But when they leave that call, what I say to them is, I just wanted to plant the seed in your head today to make sure when we do get on our next call, because I know that will happen because you are serious about this, and I can tell from just our conversation today that we're going to have a pretty solid foundation moving forward.
Matt Champ, the goated cold caller, dude. I could just see it just by that, the way you ripped it. I could so envision you.
I want to see myself on a cold call too, because, bro, if anyone sits down taking a sales call, you're psychotic. Like, I'm
Really?
always moving. I'm like, I have to pace back and forth. Like, I have to be moving. Like, I can't sit down.
Really, dude, I always start the call sitting down.
Yes,
I
I'll do
always
that
start the call
sometimes.
sitting down.
I'll do
And
the
then-
intro sitting down, and then
Because if it escalates, I'm gonna get up and start walking around.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, I'm still sitting down. You know what I mean? That's actually funny. That's actually funny you say that.
it's like when they start to, like, they drop their tone.
Yeah.
You hear, like, sometimes I know for a damn fact the other person on my phone is just like, they hear the squeak in my my office chair when they hear me get up, and they're like, all right, damn, this kid's going in right
This
now.
kid, he's getting on it right now. He's locking in. But yeah, I have no idea. I see other people who actually record cold calls, which are great pieces of content, super valuable. Like, even if we worked with a real estate agent for a little while, but it was a commercial broker, so he wasn't selling residential homes.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit harder to create content. And at one point we were recording his cold calls, and like, even like with nobody there, you could, I'm sorry, even if you got no response, or if the guy picked up and told you to fuck off,
Right.
you could still make something out of that. You know what I mean? Like, even if you just get those few words across, you know what I mean? Like, at least he heard something.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good brokers down here in
I was
Florida
just
that
gonna
are
say,
doing great content.
there's a real estate agent that I love his content. I love what he's saying.
I have a feeling I know
He works for
whose name you're gonna say.
what real estate agent?
Sotheby's.
Douglas.
Douglas Elliman.
Yeah, Douglas
Yeah,
Elliman. His first name's Anthony.
Yeah. Anthony Nucci.
Yes.
Shout out to Anthony Nucci. He is a beast. If I ever saw him walking around, like, just like Broward County, anywhere, I would go up to him and I'd be like, dude, you are a fucking legend, man. Like, his content, so authentic. Like, the stuff he does with the jet ski, where he's like, I just got one because I wanted it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
got myself a $20,000 jet ski. Why? I don't know.
Because I can sell real estate.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like, that's like, my mom as an agent, and I'm not saying my mom's old in any way, shape, or form, but my mom is definitely not a young kid, and she's not
Different
marketing
generation,
herself. Yeah, different generation. She's not marketing herself the way that these guys are. And you're going to see a huge change, I personally think, especially in the real estate industry, with how the agents are marketing themselves, because Douglas Elliman doesn't mean jack shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like, that guy Anthony Nucci is going to continue to have his own success, and who knows, maybe he'll want to go start his own boutique brokerage, right?
Right.
And none of his clients are going to leave, because all of his clients work with him because it's him,
Right.
not because he works at Douglas Elliman.
Right.
So, and I think that, like, for a lot of businesses and I guess career paths that include just brokerage houses that oversee the brokering process are going to start to kind of lose out, just because all of these brokers
Start to build their own thing.
are building their own personal brands. And there's nothing, like you say, there's nothing stronger than a personal brand. Like, if you have a community that's willing to invest in you, especially for people who are selling high ticket products.
And that's something, like, I
You're
don't think a
gold.
lot of people understand, is when you have that audience, that quote unquote book of business, if you want to exit that and get into something new, boom, you get paid out for your book of business. That's your upfront check of whatever it is, 1.5 million, 2.5 million, who knows, depending on what you're doing. Use that 1.5 million now to do what, that's your B, right? That's your A to B. You hit B, now you're going B to C.
Yeah.
So taking that and that's not necessarily, you don't have to do that, but it's something that you can definitely diversify in.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, again, personal brand, you can go in infinite directions.
Absolutely.
There's so many different things that you can get yourself into. And I mean, even yourself, I mean, you haven't done too much in the past with Turo, have you?
No.
You're just getting into it now.
Yeah.
But it's like, you have the opportunity to get into it because you've built such a strong following. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's Turo, so it's like, it's pretty applicable to anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who wouldn't want to rent a supercar when they're on vacation in Miami or whatever it is that they're doing. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, there's just, you can go in endless directions. But yeah, bro. Well, I think we came to an end, Mr. Champlin. I really appreciate you getting onto this podcast, bro.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was a great time. We'll definitely have to do it again. But yeah, so I thank you, bro. I mean,
Thank you for having me, bro. I think we killed that. Hopefully, you guys got some valuable information. The notepad's full. So
yeah, 100%. Keep the notepads out. Keep the notepads out and tune back in for the next episode. I guess this is definitely going to be the first one. I didn't know if it was going to be the first one when we started, so I didn't want to say welcome to episode 1.
Absolutely.
But this is definitely going to be the first one. But yeah, again, Champ, bro, you are the man. I really appreciate you coming on. You continue to amaze me every day, man. You continue to amaze me every day. But we will see you guys soon. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you did, I have like 2 subscribers on YouTube, so shout out you guys.
Giveaway at 10 followers.